Olan Deems, where the journey begins. Real struggles, real growth.
Real growth. Real success.
Real success. Real stories. See you inside www.olandeems.com.
You know, there are lives that are just shaped by chance, and then there are lives that are meticulously engineered by choice. Olan Deems' story? Well, it's definitely not just a story about a career. In this explainer, we're diving into the journey of a true builder, a strategist, and a creator. It's the story of a man forged by decades of quiet perseverance, deliberate discipline, and constant reinvention. And he didn't do it because circumstance forced his hand, but because he actively chose it time and time again. We're looking at a life built deliberately, on absolute purpose, and with unbreakable resilience.
Success must be engineered, not improvised. That credo right there is the absolute thematic anchor of Olan Deems' entire worldview. Think about it. He approaches life and business the exact same way an architect approaches a massive skyscraper. You don't just toss a bunch of materials together and cross your fingers hoping it stands, right? No way. You design it, you calculate every angle, and you reinforce the structure.
But long before the heavy titles and the immense weight of international responsibilities, Olan came from very modest beginnings in the Philippines. And those early days, they taught him a hard, honest truth right from the start. Absolutely nothing of real value arrives without sacrifice. Growth and opportunity aren't just handed out like entitlements, they are earned.
Achievement demands profound discipline. For Olan, the distance between where you're standing right now and where you want to be isn't measured by a lucky break. It's measured by the consistency of your effort and the integrity of your character. He built himself up patiently, step by deliberate step. He absolutely refused to just sit around waiting for the world to hand him a golden ticket.
Part 1. Surviving the Shadows. Real Struggles.
Because here's the reality. Before you can build an empire, you literally have to survive the shadows first. Picture this. He's just 19 years old, studying for his board examinations. It's about 8 p.m., he's near Recto in the Philippines just waiting for a cab. Suddenly, two men flank him. In a fraction of a second, one guy has a knife pressed hard into his right side while the other grips his shoulder and whispers, "Give me your cell phone so that you won't get hurt." It was a visceral, terrifying, immediate threat to his life right there in the dark of the city.
But in that moment of sheer terror, Olan didn't freeze up. He forcefully broke their grip, sprinting into the night and escaping with his life. The hard-won lesson extracted from that terrifying night? Survival begins with split-second awareness and instinctive motion. True resilience is forged when you absolutely fundamentally refuse to freeze under the immense pressure of danger.
Part 2. Engineering the foundation. Building beyond the familiar.
And that unyielding instinct for survival? It carried him far beyond the Philippines. Over the course of 2 decades, he embedded himself in some of the most massive, demanding infrastructure projects on the planet. We're talking early power plants, then towering developments, scaling up into complex petrochemical facilities, and ultimately expanding into massive railway systems. Each phase was a totally different context, a different continent, and a completely fresh test of what he was capable of. Now, these environments are incredibly unforgiving. He was operating in high-pressure, culturally diverse industrial landscapes where your documentation, your foresight, and your disciplined communication literally dictate whether you succeed or face catastrophic failure. It was out there in the field under intense, crushing pressure that his multidimensional commercial intelligence was really forged. He wasn't just learning engineering out there, he was mastering the deep mechanics of global commercial governance.
Part 3. The Entrepreneurial Architect. Systems over Impulse.
So as a founder and a builder, Olan takes the rigorous discipline of engineering and applies it directly to commerce. His entrepreneurial framework is governed by 3 absolute rules. 1. Design before scale. 2. Reinforce before expansion. And 3. Audit before acceleration. It's all about structural integrity coming first, making sure the business can actually handle the weight of its own success. Today, he applies those same foundational principles to modern corporate challenges. Whether he's navigating digital metrics, enforcing strict capital allocation discipline, or building out operational architecture, he approaches business systems with the meticulous, highly trained eye of a seasoned engineer. He knows that while others might sit around waiting for direction, true leaders have to pursue absolute clarity.
He does not teach shortcuts. He teaches foundations. I love that.
In a business world that is completely obsessed with fleeting trends and overnight success stories, Olan Deems demands structured growth. Opportunity rarely favors passive people. It favors the profoundly prepared. He recalibrates direction through solid systems and incredibly disciplined ambition.
Part 4. Building a Legacy. Author, leader, strategist.
Naturally, the knowledge he acquired over decades of building eventually demanded a platform. His leadership philosophy is uniquely powerful because it's so holistic. He seamlessly blends an unwavering, faith-centered resilience with incredibly strict commercial governance and structured decision frameworks. For him, faith is that ultimate stabilizing force, giving profound meaning and direction to his goals, his conduct, and his endurance through both massive success and crushing struggles.
But don't get the wrong idea. He is not just some theorist sitting on the sidelines. He maintains an intense executive presence. Olan takes these complex leadership and engineering strategies and applies them every single day in high-stakes, real-world scenarios. He operates as a strategic advisor, actively guiding enterprise communities through operational optimization and incredibly complex contract advisories. He is consistently leading right from the front lines.
And he's actually translated this entire lifetime of hard-won knowledge into the written word. His titles, Unbreakable, Stay in Power, No Time to Lose, and Unstoppable, they aren't your standard dry business books. They're absolute survival guides for life and commerce. They were born directly from real storms, heartbreaks, betrayals, and ultimately triumphs. They literally teach you how to bend without ever breaking.
Part 5. Purpose, Platform, and Future. The legacy continues.
All of this building, surviving, and writing, it all culminates in one singular, driving mission. That is the purpose behind the Olan Deems platform and ODB Best Global, to share authentic experiences, practical insights, personal growth, entrepreneurship, leadership, creativity, resilience, and the deeper lessons behind success.
Those words serve as a solemn commitment to educate, encourage, and remind all of us that profound growth is entirely possible. Because in the end, success isn't just measured by impressive job titles, massive international projects, or personal accomplishments. It's measured by the lives we influence, the systems we improve, the doors we open for those coming up behind us, and the legacy of purpose we actively choose to leave behind.
So, I'll leave you with this question. Will you leave your success to chance, or are you ready to engineer it? To discover more about Olan Deems, ODBS Global, ongoing ventures, insights, stories, and future initiatives, subscribe to this channel or visit olandeems.com, where every journey is built on real struggles, real success, real stories.
Join our journey, like and subscribe. Share your thoughts in the comments. Your voice might inspire someone. Until the next story, continue the journey at www.olandeems.com.